Chapter 4, The Golden Dragon Bank. In the Xia Kingdom, countless powerful factions and forces exist, yet among them, two stand in absolute neutrality, untouchable by even the great noble houses or the royal family. One is the St. Qian Star Academy. The other is the Golden Dragon Bank. There was no need to elaborate on the St. Qian Star Academy, as it was the ultimate dream of countless youths across the Xia Kingdom. Each year, the outstanding talents that graduated from there were eagerly sought after by the royal family and all major factions. As for the Golden Dragon Bank, it dealt in the storage, exchange, and auction of various valuables. Its wealth was so vast that it stirred the envy of countless forces, yet no one ever dared to truly set their sights on it. This was because the Golden Dragon Bank's influence far surpassed what any faction in the Xia Kingdom could imagine, and the branches within the kingdom were but a small part of its true reach. The true Golden Dragon Bank was even more renowned in the vast lands beyond the Xia Kingdom, and the bank's golden dragon notes were said to be redeemable for the equivalent amount of gold anywhere people existed. Being the county capital of the Tianshu County, Nanfan City naturally housed a Golden Dragon Bank branch, located in the most luxurious district at the city center. When Li Luo stepped down from the carriage and looked at the resplendent building before him, even though it wasn't his first time seeing it, he couldn't help but click his tongue in admiration. For a branch in a single county to have such grandeur, the wealth of the Golden Dragon Bank was truly beyond imagination. Compared to this colossal entity, even the Lulin house seemed small and insignificant. Zhang Qingyi, however, showed little interest, her gaze barely sweeping over the building before she directly headed inside. Seeing this, Li Luo hurriedly followed. Inside the lavish hall of the bank, Zhang Qingyi took out a golden note and handed it to a maid. After carefully inspecting it, the maid immediately and respectfully led them into a VIP room. After a short wait, a middle-aged, chubby man adorned with glittering jewels and rings of various colors on each finger entered with a cheerful smile. "Haha, so it's the young lord of the Lulin house and Miss Zhang gracing us with your presence. You truly bring honor to our humble bank," he said. It had to be said that those working at the Golden Dragon Bank were indeed highly perceptive. Though he clearly recognized Li Luo and was aware of his current circumstances, the man showed no sign of slighting him, even addressing Li Luo first with utmost respect. "This is President Lu of the Golden Dragon Bank's Tianshu County branch," Zhang Qingyi explained, introducing him to Li Luo. "President Lu, please take us to collect the item," Zhang Qingyi said directly. President Lu nodded with a smile and led the way. The three passed through multiple layers of security, eventually descending underground. Guided by President Lu, they finally arrived at a completely sealed room. The walls were made of a smooth, black stone, reflecting light like mirrors. President Lu raised his hand and gently tapped on the smooth wall, causing it to split open slowly as a metallic safe, made of unknown material, gradually emerged from the wall. "Young lord, this is the item your parents left here. It can only be opened by you personally, using your blood as the key," President Lu explained with a smile before tactfully leaving the room. Li Luo stood before the safe, momentarily lost in thought. He had no idea what his father and mother had left him in such a secretive manner. Yet, for some reason, he felt deep down that this item was incredibly important to him, perhaps even capable of changing his future. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward, placing his hand on the safe. He felt a slight sting on his fingertip as a drop of blood was drawn into the safe. Click, click. The sound of machinery echoed from within the seemingly seamless safe. A faint light glowed along its surface before it slowly cracked open from the middle. As it opened, the contents inside finally came into Li Luo's view. Inside was a pitch-black crystal sphere, its surface smooth and reflective, mirroring Li Luo's face while emanating a faint, mysterious aura. "This is..." Li Luo blinked. "Put it away for now. Master and mistress said you should only open it on your 17th birthday, Jiang Qingyi said, handing over a carrying case. Li Luo nodded, carefully taking the black crystal sphere and placing it into the case, gripping it tightly as his eyes grew slightly moist. "What's wrong?" Jiang Qingyi asked, puzzled. "I have a feeling I'm about to turn my life around. It's making me emotional," Li Luo said, shaking the case before looking at Jiang Qingyi with determination. "Just wait. I will definitely succeed in breaking off the engagement." Jiang Qingyi ignored him, turning to leave the underground vault, knowing well that Li Luo was emotionally stirred and could not help but act silly in such moments. As they emerged from the vault, they were greeted again by President Liu, but this time, a young girl stood beside him. The girl wore a simple green dress that accentuated her slender, graceful figure. Her features were clear and delicate, with her long black hair cascading like a waterfall down to her slim waist. Her bright, deep eyes were striking, while her skin was a flawless, translucent white, like true jade and ice. She wore thin, silk-like gloves on her hands, and even with the gloves, one could see the slender elegance of her fingers. It was easy to imagine that if she were to remove them, her hands would be so beautiful that others would find it hard to look away. In terms of beauty and temperament, this girl was clearly a tier above Tifa Cheng. However, upon seeing her, Li Luo's expression briefly shifted before returning to normal. "Haha, this is my niece, Lu Qingyi. She is currently studying at the Nanfan Academy and greatly admires Miss Jiang, insisting on coming along to meet her." "I hope you don't mind," President Liu said with a warm smile. "Greetings, Senior Jiang," Lu Qingyi said, giving a calm and respectful bow. Jiang Qingyi studied Lu Qingyi briefly and nodded. "Since you are also at Nanfan Academy, you must know Li Luo, right?" Lu Qingyi glanced at Li Luo, her eyes deep as she smiled softly. "Li Luo guided me in phase arts before, and I have always been grateful. But in the past 2 years, it seems he hasn't wanted to see me much." Li Luo's face turned slightly awkward as he laughed it off. No, don't say that. We're just in different classes and rarely cross paths." Inside, Li Luo felt a sense of helplessness. Lu Qingyi was far more famous than Tifa Qing at Nanfan Academy, not only for her beauty but also because she had become the Academy's new star. Even in the elite First Academy, she was undeniably the top student. When Li Luo was still in the First Academy, before the students had opened their phase palaces, his talent and comprehension of phase arts made him the brightest star there. Many students came to him for guidance, including Lu Qingyi. At that time, their relationship was quite good. However, after certain events occurred and Li Luo was forced to leave the First Academy for the Second Academy, their relationship became awkward. The main reason was that Li Luo had been avoiding Lu Qingyi not because he disliked her, but because meeting her felt too awkward. After all, he was once the top student, and now Lu Qingyi had taken his place. As a prideful young man, Li Luo chose to avoid such encounters whenever possible. He had not expected to run into her here today. Lu Qingyi did not comment on Li Luo's evasive response but also did not pursue the topic, turning her attention to Jiang Qingyi and chatting with her softly. In the end, they escorted Jiang Qingyi and Li Luo to the bank's main entrance. "Haha, Miss Jiang, I hear the Lulan house is about to get lively these next few days," President Liu said with a smile, a hint of deeper meaning in his tone. Jiang Qingyi's expression remained calm. President Liu, your information is as sharp as ever. What a pity, President Liu sighed before continuing, if there is ever anything you need to collaborate on, please do not hesitate to contact me. At the Golden Dragon Bank, we believe in making money through harmony. Li Luo was slightly confused but did not ask further, simply following Jiang Qingyi onto the carriage as they swiftly departed. President Liu stroked his greasy face, glancing at Lu Qingyi beside him, noticing her bright eyes still watching the direction the carriage had left. Ahem, President Liu suddenly coughed and said, "Hey, girl, you're not interested in that Li Luo, are you?" Lu Qingyi shot him a glance, her voice soft. "I only feel it's a pity for him. He truly helped me with phase arts before, and I did admire him once. If it weren't for his empty phase, he would have been my biggest rival at Nanfan Academy." President Liu patted his chest in exaggerated relief. Good, good. Qingyi, that boy is engaged, you know. Best not to get involved. With your qualities, what genius in the Xia Kingdom wouldn't be worthy of you? Lu Qingyi simply shook her head, ignoring her second uncle's rambling as she turned away with a faint fragrance, leaving President Liu standing there, scratching his head with a silly smile. End of chapter. If you would like, I can continue with chapter 5 immediately, or prepare concise bullet point chapter summaries for review to aid your deep reading and memory. Let me know how you wish to continue your efficient novel